Good morning, Emily.
Tim and Alicia, it's hard to put into words how or why events like the Boston Marathon bombings happen. 5 years ago today, 3 lives were taken in Boston and 260 others were wounded. But every day since, runners and friends and family of victims have been coming together to prove that even in the wake of something so unimaginable, there will always be brighter days ahead.
And so it's been years, but I don't think anybody's forgotten it.
Right.
I know I haven't.
5 years ago, just as runners were crossing the finish line of the Boston Marathon, one bomb exploded and then another.
It looked like a military state. When you look at, there was National Guard, there were SWAT members all over the place.
Lynn Beiswanger of Bismarck had finished the race an hour before. He and his teammates made it out unharmed, but he says it's tough to feel lucky.
It almost brings anger to you why individuals would want to put other people in harm's way like that, and then to take the lives of those individuals, that were doing nothing more than standing there enjoying a magnificent day, watching, the runners come in.
He's been running the Boston Marathon for 17 years, but after 2013, the 26-mile stretch has never felt the same.
It's not what the race used to be. There's on the tops of buildings, there's the snipers with the binoculars, and they're looking around as part of the security.
Did you ever falter on going back?
Not a bit.
And it was in this second that determined the course of another man's journey.
I remember vividly being on the treadmill and watching this unfold and going, okay, now I've got to get there because I want to be a part of the rebuild next year.
Askvig says seeing a broken-hearted community come back stronger than ever before was all the motivation he needed. But he, along with those who did experience the horror of the bombings, are still left with a big question.
Why a race? I mean, a race is the happy place. It's where people come together to share a love for, in this case, running.
Still, they say the race must go on.
There's a sign they have that says, "We will never forget." And so it's not just about an anniversary or anything, that in their hearts and in their minds, they realize that the importance of that day in everybody's life.
Today, nearly 1 million people will be lining the course to cheer on this year's qualifiers. But as they push forward, they will always remember just how quickly the path of life can change.
It's hard to put it into words, but it'll stick with me. Believe me, I will not forget.
Beiswanger told me that he plans to continue to run the Boston Marathon for at least 10 more years so he can run it with his granddaughter when she turns 18.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
It's amazing to see all of the good that can come from something so horrific.
When you think about runners, the people who can run 26 miles,
Right.
is it,
Yeah.
right?
As you can see behind me, it is a fairly small class. There are only 12 machines, and that's so that the trainer can really get involved with everyone working out. So I will be back in just a couple of minutes talking to one that's actually on a machine right now, and he's going to tell me why he's addicted to solid core. Tim and Amber, tell me why you're called Bucket.
Well, they call me buckets because I can score a lot of baskets in a hurry. I usually like to say buckets before I release my shot. Also, I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most underhand half-court shots made in under a minute. I made 6 in 46 seconds. To be politically incorrect, it's the granny shot.
The granny shot. Oh, that's my specialty too.
Yes. And I also have the highest shot ever made in North America. 583 feet 8 inches off the Tower of the Americas in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh my gosh, I'm starstruck right now.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, well, Tim, I'm going to throw it back to you in the studio. Buckets, thank you so much for being here with me today.
No problem.
We're going to work on some tricks, and we'll be back later in the show.
Okay, looking forward.
Good morning, Tim and Amber. Yes, it is a little bit chilly out here today, but honestly, I'm just happy that I'm not getting hit with horizontal snow and 60 to 70 mile per hour winds right now, which is something that many people have said is what they remember about the spring blizzard of 1997. So we were actually able to find some old KX archived footage of the storm. As you can see, it was quite the whiteout. There were cars buried everywhere. The interstate was pure white, so that's another thing. A lot of people are saying that they remember about this storm. Most of North Dakota was hit with 18 inches of snow in less than 2 days. People were stuck at home or at work and couldn't go anywhere essentially for almost 3 days. And I spoke with a meteorologist who says this storm is ingrained in her memory forever. And if you have any memories of this storm, feel free to tweet us what really sticks out in your mind at KXMB on Twitter. Right now, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, Tim and Amber, but I'll be back with another person's perspective of the storm in just a little bit. Good morning, Tim. After 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz used an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle to kill and injure 31 people at a high school in Parkland, Florida, students from that community are speaking up about gun control policies. Many of these Parkland students are pushing for stricter gun laws, but as a reflection of the debate we're seeing on Capitol Hill, students and teachers in our region don't quite know what the best solution may be.
It's becoming like almost a recurring thing now. It's like, who's next?
18 shootings in the U.S. this year have sparked nationwide controversy.
These things are scary, and we cannot minimize them. We have to be proactive.
What started in a high school hallway just like this one has led to a new, more aggressive conversation about what should be done about school safety and gun laws. But the answer to that question varies from person to person.
People like in authorities need to like be armed and stuff. Like having some guns in schools would be a good thing.
I don't know if it's going to make kids feel any safer knowing that there's already a gun in the school.
Having doors locked, going through the procedures, having all the students and all the teachers know what they're supposed to be doing.
While many Florida students push for tighter gun control, high schoolers in our neck of the woods point to mental health as the root of the problem.
I don't really think it's the guns that are the problem. I think it's just there's going to be bad people everywhere, and whether or not they can legally have guns or not, it's not going to take away them getting their guns.
There are some people who will make bad decisions no matter what resources they have available to them.
Another heavy topic recently is how easy it is for citizens to obtain semi-automatic rifles like the AR-15 used to kill 17 students last week. One more gray area that many can't agree on.
Guns like those are used for competition and stuff, so it's not just like going out to kill.
I think maybe we should be stricter on those just because the power that they have and the damage that they can do.
Regardless of opposing views on topics like gun control, many who I spoke to agreed on one thing.
I think that people just need to come together more often.
Recognizing those signs and being available and finding them the help so that we can be more proactive rather than reactive.
Tim, of course, this is a very sensitive topic that is starting a lot of heated debate in the country right now. But one positive that's coming from this is many schools are having more conversations with students about safety measures and about mental health issues. Shiloh Christian is one. They're having a practice lockdown today to make sure everybody knows the protocols in place. And then they have a few speakers coming in to talk to the students about mental health as well. So not a bad idea in the wake of everything that's been going on.
Yeah, that's right. You want everybody to be prepared no matter what.
Exactly.
Thanks, Emily.